Hello, Phil here from Wings of Pegasus and welcome to another analysis video. On the agenda tonight we have Vivian Campbell and DIO of course, and this is going to be coming from 1985 live from Japan. So let's get these guys up on screen and see how they get on. I've queued it forward so that we get Vivian's solo in, and this is the solo for Last in Line, and then they're going to go into Holy Diver, but then we'll have a little word on DIO afterwards as well. So just going to quickly get into that lead. There was so much going on there. As we know, Vivian, such great players, loads of techniques, alternate picking there, lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs. I love the way that he gets such a great legato sound with those hammer-ons and pull-offs. A lot of whammy bar action here as well, as everyone will know back in the 80s especially, that whammy bar was used so much, especially when the locking nuts came in on the guitars. So it meant that they could really go crazy doing dive bombs and all that kind of stuff, and the strings would then pop back straight back into tune. So it really did get a bit crazy in the 80s with the whammy bar. Of course, Van Halen was one of those guys that would always pull off to open strings and do a dive bomb, or pull off to an open string, hit a harmonic and do a dive bomb. That's one of the things that if you don't know or you want to sound 80s, just do that. Just do a run, pull off to an open string, harmonic, dive bomb, and that's pretty much 80s tick. But you cannot underestimate the amount of technique that Vivian's got in his playing. It's perfect for DIO, this sound. It just really suits. With DIO's tracks, they always need something in there that's going to be as big and as great sounding as DIO, because DIO's voice, not only his voice, but his whole personality on stage. He's one of those guys that when you watch him on stage, he is different. He's in a different league to everyone else. And you can't really put your finger on what it is. It's like a whole package. And when you see a live performance from DIO, it is like going to a play. He is acting out the lyrics. And he's one of those guys that is just in total control of not only that performance, not only has that aura around him when he's performing, but his vocal is absolutely insane in terms of how good it is. I don't think I've heard any other vocalist that can do DIO, because it is so unique. There's loads of other guys that try to, but there's something about when you put together that voice with the personality, with the showmanship, and with this almost acting ability that DIO's got to tell a story through a song. It's just an unbeatable combination. And he's one of those rare people that when you see them, for some reason, they are just better than everybody else. You can't really put your finger on it. It's so many different elements that come together to make that full package of an ultimate frontman. When it then goes to the solo, that solo has got to try and be as big and as entertaining as that frontman, as the whole performance and the composition. And Vivian was perfect for that, because he really threw in loads of techniques. He would do harmonic squeals, harmonic pinches, squeals we kind of call them in the 80s community, but classic sound. And those dive bombs, it's just making a really big lead sound. Obviously in the 80s, the addition of delay, overdrive would really help to fill out that sound. But in order to really hold your own just in a guitar solo with DIO, you had to be totally on top of all your techniques and get that solo to stand out within the composition of the track, which is already just stolen. The show's stolen already by DIO. So being able to play a lead that stands up well to that is really a massive achievement, and Vivian did that. Let's get into it a little bit more. This is going to be Holy Diver now, I think they're then playing into. Yeah. Just going to jump in here, even though I don't want to stop it, because Dio is just, there's no words that you could say to describe how great he was when he sang. It's almost like having a classically trained singer or opera singer at the top of their game, but Dio is doing it all with a heavy rock vocal, great vibrato, but you can see, especially in that last little section, the amount of acting and portraying of the lyrics of a song that Dio put into every performance. This is now great. We're now going into Last in Line again. That classic synth. Some of the synth in the 80s was just unbeatable. Just such a great full sound, great riffs, really added something to every track. And when you've got great riffs and great lines like you do with Dio, especially Holy Diver, it's just a classic riff that everyone knows. You play just a few bars and bang, everyone knows it's Holy Diver. But just the addition of synth just fills out the sound amazingly well, and we'll just listen to a little bit more because it's hard not to want to just hear all of this. And there we go. What a great performance. What a gig this must have been to actually attend and see it live. But such a great live sound. Guitar work, like I said, is faultless, and Dio's performance is just crazy good all the time. He's just all over it. But I've run out of things I can say about Dio. Obviously, if you look at me with my hair, this is my kind of stuff. It's right up my street. So Dio, one of the absolute legends of heavy metal, and just such a great voice. But Vivian Campbell's playing as well. Really's got all of the techniques that you want in a lead guitarist, and here, really tough job to play something that's going to stand up to Dio's voice. But Vivian absolutely does it. And he had that whole 80s sound, all the tapping, all those hammer-ons pull-offs, all the alternate picking, occasional little bits of sweeping as well. He had all of those bases covered. So it means that playing for Dio is one hell of a band to have to play for, but then if he was then moving over to another band, for example Def Leppard, he had all of that experience and all of those techniques just to seamlessly slot in to another really top 80s band. But thank you so much for suggesting this video for me to take a look at, and keep those suggestions coming in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Rock!